Good morning. It's lovely out here. Too windy to stay for long, but I want to show you some stuff and then go inside. This is my way of cheating when it's windy. Because if we don't see this, we'll miss it. So here are the irises en masse. And there's a lot of them. And this is the poster shot, really. Hopefully, because it's got straight lines in it, this will become the snapshot for the video. It's just beautiful. And let's get up close to some of these flowers because you can finally see a whole one before it's been shredded. There you go. Now the light's a bit better. Isn't it beautiful? It's just gorgeous. I really do enjoy these flowers. And there are a lot of them. And yeah, the plants need deadheading because the wind has destroyed a lot of flowers. But they produce so many that we can afford to wait. And we have bluebells. Good morning, Roberta. And look, we have a lavender plant. And we have a cute little granny's bonnet. I really love these ones with the white centres. Let's have some focus here. Morning, Liz. Oh, there you go. Isn't that lovely? So I really enjoy the granny's bonnet, which is just as well because I've got a lot of them. And here they are. They're all starting to happen now. See, there's a pink one and more blue and white ones. And I mean, there's just a whole row of them. Good morning, Linda. So it's all happening, and I moved some jonquils, which were somewhere else, into this space. So next year there'll be white jonquils coming up in the middle of winter before these things have even sprouted. And we've got some love in the mist coming along. That'll flower in a little while. So it's all happening here. And just get up close to this one so you can see it. Isn't it lovely? Good morning, Gillian. I know it's evening where you are, but it's morning to me, so you can share the morning. There you go. So I'm really fond of these different granny's bonnets. And I just wanted to show you, even though it's a bit too breezy to stay outside, and oh my goodness, the daisy bush needs pruning. But let's have a close-up of this. Look at the detail, the texture on the petals, and the fractal centre of the thing. Good morning, Richard. Lovely to see you. So yeah, this is the reason why we're not staying outside, because it is a bit windy and noisy. But I just wanted you to see this. Something else that I hope the camera will show you. See, we've got a ring of purple flowers inside the ring of green foliage. They're called Babiana. I'll go down and take a quick look at them. And, you know, they're bright. That's me. And beautiful, and hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't fade. Hang on, better get the light right. There you go, you can see those ones. So they're very bright, but if you look in the back, you can't really see. There's a whole ring of them, and they're terribly smothered by these amazing nerines that make so much foliage. So I am going to have to move them, which is a huge job. But anyway, enjoy the cineraria because it's bright. And look, we've got some shallots here. Good morning, Jan. The shallots are my only nod to actually growing annual vegetables. Because they're easy, you put them in and ignore them. And I'm really enjoying this. This is the cassia bush. Look at the colours on the leaves. I just love the foliage. Never mind the flowers when they come. I just love this bush. It's beautiful. And, oh, this is cool. Are there any flowers? Oh, they're not really open, but this is a gooseberry. Yeah, it's thorny, right? But look at the cute little pink red flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? There will be gooseberries. So it's all happening. Oh, look, and pink. See the bluebell? Annie, good morning. Oh, we have these pink ones as well, which I nearly lost, but I managed to save them, and they got weed-eated by somebody who weed-eated the edges here and got a bit carried away. Because there's no proper edge here, I need to put more driftwood down. And here's the lemon tree, covered in lemons and starting to sprout. See the new leaves? I need to give it more compost. It's spring in the garden and it's all happening. And this is the red currant, and look, you can see it's already starting to red currant. So you have these little green, insignificant looking flowers like this. Got to try and get some focus here for you. The camera's a little bit confused. No, we'll do it like that. There you go. So cute little green flowers, and these are the fruit. which will swell up and go bright red. Okay, turning the camera around, going inside, because it's just a bit too windy out here. And it's easier to concentrate if I'm not fighting with the wind, don't you know? Shut the door. See, it's a lot quieter in here. My scruffy lounge, which I'm very grateful to have. In my beautiful lounge, one of the rooms that has been done up in this place. Okay, so sit down, get the clock out. So we don't need crystals when we have the garden. Okay, let me square this up. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy the mornings, Julian. Do you know, however long it is that it passed since you wrote that comment, it's just arrived now. So, it only takes a minute to go around the globe, really. So today, I want to talk about the things we say. I want to talk about the things that we say whenever we say, I am. Because I listen to people, including me, saying all kinds of things about who they are and never mind what they can do and what they can't do. It's like, I am this, I am that. Really, is that how you want to be? You know, just because you have made a mistake or you've seen a reaction on someone's face that made you think, oh, well, maybe I did the wrong thing, maybe that was irritating for them, well, maybe it was their shit and not yours. You know, I mean, excuse me, too warm. As soon as I come in out of the wind, I'm warmer. Do you want to believe that? And do you want to keep saying it? Because whatever you say as truth for yourself, your body is listening to every word you say. Every cell in your body is listening to every word that you say. So if you think that you're a shy person, or you're someone that other people find annoying, or you're not confident, or you're a nasty person, or whatever it is, and believe me, I have some very, very dear person in my life who spent a big chunk of their life really being determined to be somebody that everybody would leave alone because they were so unpleasant. It didn't work. They were a fundamentally beautiful person. They couldn't change who they really were. But, you know, I am, insert your words here. Remember, when you think a thought, any thought, but in this case we're talking about thoughts, and of course a thought has to happen and then you speak, right? So the thought comes first. Any thought that you think about yourself means that a particular neural net in your brain fires. And when that particular neural net in your brain fires, you get neurotransmitters. Because neurotransmitters is what happens when nerves talk to each other. Period. Morning, Robin! And those neurotransmitters speak to the chemical centres in your brain, and those chemical centres in your brain speak to your hormonal centres, and you get chemistry. Which is why what you say is literally what you become. It's not just, you know, figuratively and all of that stuff. It is literally what you think becomes chemistry. Your thoughts become matter. Your thoughts matter. And so your speech comes from your thoughts. And if you keep saying, "Oh, I'm a shy person," Abiola, hello. If you keep saying those things, when you affirm who you are, whatever that is, just neurologically, you are sending a message to your cells every time you say that. Do you want to keep telling your cells, if you are fed up with being shy or feeling like you're in the way and a nuisance like I did, God, for so much of my life, I'm a nuisance. Now, I was programmed into believing that. But I really felt it. And it was always, oh, gee, who am I going to piss off next? But every time I think a thought about myself that I may really feel, but if I don't want to keep feeling it, if I don't want to keep having it be true, at some point I've got to make a decision to stop thinking it and stop saying it. Absolutely. It's got to be a really deep choice. I'm not saying I was so smart about it. Linda, you'll laugh. Guess who wrote those words? my inspiration, Joe Dispenza. Of course, I've been reading about neuroscience. This is why it's fresh in my head, because I'm getting more information. Those circuits in my brain are getting more enriched about how all this stuff happens. It's so cool. Our thoughts matter because they become matter, literally, and they shape who we are physically, because those chemistries change the expression of your genes. And the expression of your genes is not just about the physical health of your body. You know, you walk into a room and somebody in there is really pissed off. Don't you know it immediately? Don't they, exude an energy of that? What about when you walk into a space and it's full of really genuinely happy, healthy, wealthy people? Do you think that doesn't have a genetic expression? Because, I feel happy, I feel whole, I feel well. Everything affects how our genes express. And if you want to be healthy, if you want to be happy, if you want to be a genius, do you think that genius, having access to all the amazing capacity of your brain, doesn't have a genetic expression? Because, neurons talking to each other, energy flowing in your brain, information being available. Oh yeah, it's a great book, Linda. It's a great book. It's his first, and it goes back in time. You will be amazed. I've only read this little bit, but there's just so much in it. It's very, very cool. For anyone who wonders what the hell I'm talking about, this is Joe Dispenza's first book, Evolve Your Brain, which has got a lot of neuroscience in it. But I'm a neuroscience geek now. At least I'm becoming one. So what are you saying about yourself? What are you writing about yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? And do you want to keep doing that? And if you find yourself continuing to say, oh, I am this, I am that, you might just be addicted to it. You might actually like the pain of whatever it is that you are continually affirming about yourself, even when you know that it's crap. Abigail, good morning. Really, we get addicted to our negative emotions. Now remember, for anybody who doesn't remember how this works, or maybe you're new to this, remember I said neural net fires, neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, that's what happens in the hypothalamus and the pituitary, and that sends signals to the hormonal centers and you have an emotion, right? How do you get addicted to that? Well, negative emotions are all built around and stand upon and created by and reinforced by the hormones of stress. So, your adrenaline, your cortisol, the adrenal cascade, the stuff that gives you a rush of energy so that you can run away from a predator and survive. Those hormones are really addictive. And you see a person who is literally addicted to the life they don't even want to keep living. Because their body is saying, I need my next fix of misery. I need my next fix of anger. Have you seen a person who's just habitually angry and they're sitting there and there's nothing around them for them to be pissed off about, and they'll just find someone to yell at? Or, something perfectly innocent that they're needing to do, and suddenly they've hit their finger or they've shut their hand in the door or something's gone wrong. It's like, how the hell did that go wrong? They created it so they could explode again. We get addicted to our negative emotions. And I see it with people being addicted to feeling awful about themselves, believing that they're bad, believing that they're evil. It's like you get a rush of self-reproach. It's like, no. But you have to say a very deep no to that inside yourself, because the body gets addicted to it and the body becomes an addict, and the body literally becomes the mind of that state of being. Yes, you can absolutely still be addicted to negative emotions even though you consistently, consciously reject them, because let's unpick this, right? If the body has been the mind of, let's say, fear, because it's a very common one, for however long, let's say you've had anxiety for 9 years. Your body's had 9 years of being addicted acclimatized to, conditioned to, really used to stress hormones. And I had this experience myself because I've sort of overcome what I didn't even know was mild to moderate anxiety for so long that when it changed, what happened was my gut slowed down. And I thought, why the hell has my gut slowed down? Why have I become constipated? What the hell? Still going on, by the way. And then there's an autoimmune component to it too. But I understand it. And the thing was, I had an autoimmunity, which is now what I'm still working through, that has slowed my gut down. But my anxiety was speeding my gut up. So there was this imbalanced balance, which made everything work. But when the anxiety went away, my gut slowed down. So, I now have to do things to keep things moving because I'm still healing myself, right? And by the way, Richard, in my model of the world, which I have learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza, the ego is the part of the conscious mind that is about protecting the body. That's it. It's just a survival instinct. It's not good, it's not bad. It's just there to keep me safe. If I'm walking by the side of the road and a car's coming along too fast and looks like it's going to, jump over the curb and wipe me out, I'm likely to run away. It's the ego that does that. There's nothing wrong with the ego. But when the ego gets to be in charge, like when I'm in survival all the time, when I'm saying I'm afraid all the time, or I'm angry all the time, or I'm scared all the time, or I'm sad all the time, then the ego is running the show and it's ugly. The mind is a great servant and a terrible, terrible master. So, we're all conditioned, right? At a cellular level, the cell has changed. It's either said, there's a lot of stress hormones here, so I need to make more receptors to receive all these stress hormones. And then those receptors start being really insistent about getting stress hormones. And then the other thing that can happen, so you just get lots and lots and lots of stress hormones all the time, or the receptors on the cell can get so overwhelmed with stress hormones that they stop paying attention. And then you need a bigger hit to get the same result. So we can absolutely be addicted to it. And then after 9 years, you think, hey, I don't actually want to be anxious anymore. And you just, okay, I'm going to calm myself down. And it goes really well for an hour or so, as my hero, Dr. Joe Dispenza says. And then the body starts saying, hang on a minute, you're off schedule. Where's my fix? What's going on? I've got to find something to get stressed about because I need my hit. Yeah, we're totally to tame it, not eradicate it. You're absolutely right, Abigail. From the perspective that I occupy what I believe, what I know neurologically and the way things work and the way that makes sense to me. Because there's so much bullshit about, the ego's bad. No, the ego keeps you alive. But it's a really, really poor master when it's running the show. So, enough about that because I really don't want to have that discussion. So how do you break this addiction? Well, you've got to realise that when you've decided that you don't want to be this fearful person anymore, so I am confident, or whatever it is you want to say, the first 500 times you decide to inhabit the space of feeling confident, not enough to say it or think it, you've got to start feeling it, it's going to feel really wrong. Now, why does it feel really wrong to say, I feel confident? I am confident. I am a confident person. Why does it feel wrong? Because it goes directly against your hormonal set point. Your body is used to feeling scared. You are now saying, body, we're going to go into unknown territory. Body, we're going to go something new. And the body says, oh, no. I am familiar with feeling afraid. I am used to feeling afraid. I know what to do when I feel afraid. I do not know how it feels to feel confident. And the unknown is scary. Evolutionarily, the unknown is scary. So not only am I addicted to my fear, but the whole idea, never mind that I'm saying it and I'm doing it and I'm making myself feel it through an act of will, that feels really, really wrong because we're trying to shift a hormonal set point. Remember, all of your cells are saying, I got tons and tons of stress hormone receptors here now. If you stop keeping them supplied with my daily 2-hourly fix, I'm going to get antsy. So you actually have to push against it for long enough that the cell dies and replaces itself, or the cell divides. And when it divides again, it has fewer stress hormone receptors. That's why it takes time to change these really ingrained aspects of ourselves, and that's why it's so hard. Because if your body's been conditioned to being the mind of anger for the last 32 years, it might take you a bit of time to condition it to be the mind of peace. The body becomes the mind automatically, autonomically, epigenetically, biochemically, energetically. It does it for you because you trained it that way. And now you've got to train it differently now. That's just what we have to do. That is the sound neuroscientific model that I embrace because it works. Now, to do that, for me, it's not enough to think about it and to say it. I got to feel it. And for me, sometimes the resistance is so deep that the only way I get to make that kind of change is when I dive into the unified field and make it. I get deep, I get past my conscious mind and I get into my autonomic nervous system and I make the changes there. And that's the way that I find most effective to do things. I just love doing the work that I've learned from Dr. Joe because it works. But that is how we can get addicted to a life we don't even like, because the body knows what to do with it. It doesn't want to go somewhere new, and that's the resistance. That's why it's so hard to change, because you, the mind, have said, I'm the mind now, and the body says, no, you're not. And that's the dance. That's what we have to do, is train the body to be the servant instead of the master. And it's so grateful when you do. It's so much better when you do. It's so much nicer when you do, because you're not, running around feeling all of that shitty feeling, and you're not running around saying stuff about yourself that isn't true anymore. But you have to realise that you can be addicted to that feeling, and you have to make quite a deep choice to stop doing it. So, it's Tuesday. I can't believe I'm on the nail. I'm not out of time. It's Tuesday, which means that in 3.5 hours, I'm going to be live to give you an update on our beautiful Sangmarie Gomez and what he's doing in the Gambia. And it's amazing. And it's lovely to share with you. Big love. I will see you then or tomorrow. Bye-bye.